is said to move silent and swift through the undergrowth. It strides through the forest as little more than a shadow. Join me, Danton Robertson, as we go in search of Shaw.
Walking among us are those who believe that there is more in our surroundings than what we are told exists, that there are things that cannot be explained with traditional science. Yet those people are not called visionaries. They are branded as small humans with overactive imaginations, or just downright crazy. Hi, I'm Danton Robertson, and I intend to either validate these people's claims and bring them the justice they deserve, or prove that they are indeed crazy. But what is it that we're searching for? Let's start with a quick definition of Shaw.
We're looking for a sluggish, humanoid, antediluvian wild man, or simply put, Shaw. Dr. Theo Ratcliffe earned his doctorate degree at North Southwestern Des Moines Technical Institute and is currently providing lectures on cryptozoology at that same campus. After an encounter with the Shaw during an archaeological expedition in southern Arkansas, Dr. Ratcliffe dedicated his life to proving the Shaw's existence. One cannot think about the Shaw without thinking of Dr. Ratcliffe. I decided that I would seek his guidance before embarking on my journey.
So, Doctor, where did you first hear about the Shaw?
The Shaw, when I first started out, I was so young, let me tell you, I was really young, and I started out I was working with a group of paleontologists, and what they asked me to do was we went to a jungle, and this was in south central Des Moines. We were just starting off fresh. I was brand new to the field.
So what made you pursue the Shaw? Why did you choose it over all of the other mythological creatures?
Mythological? Let me tell you something about mythological, young man. Mythological is when you come home from Little League baseball practice and your dad tells you, hey, I'm tired of you wearing dresses to practice. What's that about? And I say, you know what? It's more comfortable when you're running. You know what I'm talking about? Because you get all the sweat and the perspiration and the acid reflux going down all over. That's mythological. The Shaw is not mythological. The Shaw is real. I've seen him. I've heard him. You've seen the footage. How can you claim that anything that is less than that this could not be real? Because we've seen and we've heard the Shaw in its environment.
You've seen the Shaw? Please, describe your experience. I want to hear it.
Well, here's what I can tell you that we saw. The first thing we saw that day was the precipitation level. For that area, the precipitation level was very low. And this was alarming because we were concerned about an inability to see the chimpanzees we were there for. What we saw, it walked in a way that I have never seen a carbon-based life form walk. And it smelled very distinct in the air, in the area that it was in. And
how would you describe that smell?
I want to say it was a mixture between Dr. Pepper and some other chemical that in all of my many, many hours of studying have never smelled. Ever. But we affectionately call it he among our colleagues, mostly because we're convinced that no woman could ever be what we saw. But we affectionately call him he. He had a distinct hair pattern. He had a distinct look about him. And it was almost like, for the first time ever, he was coming to the world to say, "Look at me, world! Here I am."
Well, in all of your studies, what would you say is his diet? What does his diet consist of?
His diet, in all the studies since then, has got to consist of Dr. Pepper, primarily. I think even almost exclusively. With a mixture of chloroseptic spray. A lot of chloroseptic spray. Probably more than any one organism should take part in. If you read the labels on those things, the warnings are devastating. Devastating. And so that would probably be what we've shown that it ingests more.
Well, Doctor, what did you see? What on that site, what did you see that day? Just give us a general description of it.
The Shaw, the first time that I saw the Shaw, we were in South Central Arkansas. We were in South Central Arkansas, and we were in the Shaw's natural habitat. But we were not there to study the Shaw. We were there because we were fascinated by a group of apes that people claimed were playing musical songs that were popular in today's culture. So as we were studying the varying group of apes, everything ranging from chimpanzees, sloths, rhinoceroses, all of the different types of monkeys on the planet, as we studied these, we began to examine and we began to see footprints, droppings, things that could not have come from something that size as a chimpanzee, as an orangutan. Nothing that could come from that. And as we began to look, I'll never forget the morning. The morning. We took off. We had not been gone from camp for more than maybe 17, 18 minutes. And we saw something. We saw something extraordinary. And my colleague, who's an imbecile, exclaims at the top of his lungs, "It's a sloth! It's a sloth!" I backhanded him so hard his grandmama felt it. Because the thing that he frightened off was not a sloth. Sloth has very distinct ears. Sloth has a very distinct walk and sound. And what we saw that day, sir, that was not a sloth.